What's up everybody, how's it going, and welcome to this episode of Car Rant. Today we are picking up where we left off on the Metropolitan build. And boy, let me tell you, these are some dope parts going on this build. So last episode you would have seen us make fools out of ourselves riding on this scooter without any of the fairings put back on it or any of the hardware. Now we're reassembling some of this hardware now that some of the stuff is fixed. Certain areas we're going to leave uncovered, like this front fascia, because we do have a broken wire with our headlight. But other than that, the rest of this is getting put back together since we don't need to take apart this main section to work on things such as the CVT 1-gear transmission. It also means that parts like this, our little box carrier, and our basket can now be installed on the fairings as well. So this is definitely going to help finalize some of its external parts before we get into things like the fatty mods and the stretch. But with that said, we have gotten new shiny parts from our friends at the Ruck Shop, and these parts are real nice. Observe, we have here our NCY CDI. This is actually going to allow us to rev much higher and give us a better top speed, as well as adjusting for the fact that we have an airbox delete kit on this thing, and it will make it pretty much faster. That 40-mile-an-hour marker that's on the bike already will now actually be achieved. And with that, we also now have our Polini Variator kit. This right here is what's really going to get us that top speed physically. This allows us for tighter gearing, allowing us to rev higher and longer, and probably will help fix some of our low-end power problems that we've been having. And we've got heavier weight rollers. So altogether, it's going to be quite an intensive episode. I hope you guys stick with us throughout it, because we are going to drive the bike again at the end with all the new parts and kind of compare where we were before to where we are now. All right, so it's been a couple of days since I even picked up this camera, because I've been working out the details with the NCY CDI install. I will link a video down below. Basically, it patches into the harness and it allows the CDI to bypass signals from the actual CPU, giving you the ability to have the tuning there on the fly for at least your ignition timing. That's what I've figured out so far. It's pretty easy to install, I will be honest, but if you're like me and you're running like kind of tight on some parts, a soldering iron never hurts. I'll show you what I did with that in a second. Also, have not put in the variator yet. We're gonna probably try to address that here pretty soon. The biggest struggle with that one is the fact that you need something to hold the motor still in order to crack the nut off and get all the drive parts off. The fastest we've been able to get these scooters so far is 22 miles an hour. And I know I'm a heavier individual, I weigh 260. These bikes and scooters, I should say, don't really operate well with that level of weight on it. But obviously I'm trying to lose some weight. But with the new variator, that should allow us to be able to get the speeds we need to at least be roadworthy. Also, from last episode, I did show you guys that we did get a basket. My dad and I last night were able to sit down, measure things out the way we want to put it, and got this thing bolted up. It's pretty much straight. It might be off by a little bit, but this does look really good. It is going to help out a lot, because now the basket can hold stuff, and then where the hook's located, you can then hold like a grocery bag or something if I need to take this thing to the store. So for me, like I said, everything about this bike is going to be functional, fun. So I needed the basket to work. I am going to get a rear basket soon, but I needed one for inside at least, like those stuff like my house keys, maybe a cup of coffee, stuff like that into this space. That way I had something functional that I could then make this bike usable. Gotta say, cannot wait to get working on this again. We actually had a little powwow, me and Ishmael, the other day, and we may have figured out how to make this thing run. And if we can make it run, you best believe I will be the one to test drive it. But coming over here, we did put all the fairings back on. We have addressed most of the issues. As you can see, we have the air kit on. I, of course, was an idiot and forgot to get the one with the thing, you know, the thing. Anyway, I ended up bending the cone, and now that it's bent upward, I just rotated it around, and now it's perfectly well suited. We do have, as I said, wired in the CDI box. I have it currently tucked up against the side of the panel. It was really straightforward. Like I said, I'm gonna link the Ruck Shop video down below because it was super self-explanatory. The next big step for us is getting our Variator pulley gears and all that off so we can put a new one on. We're gonna go with lighter weight rollers from Dr. Slides, and we should be good to go as far as getting this up to speed with my weight on the bike. And like I said, that basket has become incredibly helpful. We also know for a fact that our fuel gauge is not actually working correctly, so we're gonna have to go through and correct that issue. Unfortunately, it reads way off. It said we had almost half a tank when in fact it was empty. We didn't need a new fuel pump. In fact, the pump was fine because we were out of gas. Perfect. This will be our test run with all the stuff on, just no Variator. Hopefully you guys can see the speedometer. And we're on a hill, so here we go. We're also on the old tires, so I'm not trying to go too fast, but I do want to see what I got in it. I think I moved over when I did. Because right as that van pulled up behind me, the scooter died. Like I said, I have to find that idle and get the idle straight. Otherwise I'm not doing too bad. Alright. So as you can probably tell, I'm holding the helmet. It rides great, it accelerates pretty well. You do have to kind of wrap it twice to get it to go, which is something that I've kind of learned. I've seen some videos where people kind of just get into it. This one doesn't want to do that, so it is what it is. We'll figure it out later. I do need to get this idle fixed and corrected because as is, it doesn't idle at all, or really all that well. I have to kind of constantly wrap the throttle a little bit, which for me is not a big deal. But I would like it to be straight. That way, if I have other people ride it, I don't have to worry about it going bad on me. So last night, Ian and I sat down and we went through everything. We pulled the old Variator off, as you can see here. It's not bad. It's just, you know, it's a typical Variator with, you know, the standard weight rollers, it looks like. Don't look like these are anything special. What we use to get the Variator off is this. This is a Variator puller tool. You will need this in order to stop this piece here, to keep it from moving so you can actually take it apart. Taking it off and on is super simple. You just gotta make sure that your nut is tight, make sure that's good to go, sealed up tight. I also found out that I had a small electrical issue when my solders came undone, so I'm gonna have to fix that before we ride. But otherwise, it starts. We're gonna take it for another ride, get some more GoPro footage to show you what it's like, and see if we can find a noticeable speed difference. First startup. Yeah, I knew there was something still in the belt. Alright. Sounds much better. The clutch is already biting, which means that we probably are too high for an idle. so I'm gonna have to fix that. You can definitely hear a difference. It's definitely more rattly. All right, here we go. Let's see what she's got. Let's see. Let's go our usual route. I'll be honest, this now feels more like a lightweight flywheel than it does anything else, and I'm okay with it. I just wasn't expecting it. So with that said, like, it doesn't have as much like initial torque, but I feel like with some tuning we can definitely get that straightened out. But yeah, this thing rips, man. I feel like this feels what it should feel like stock, just for my size, my build. I think I might need a different idle jet. I don't know. The key thing is now I'm gonna go pick up my dog. And we're gonna take the dog for a ride. Okay. You ready? You in the bag good? All right, bud, you ready? Here we go. You having fun back there? You're good. And on that note, this little man and I are gonna go play, have some fun. With that said, God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace.